Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Spring 2 novel study book, which is Incredible Journeys, Discovery, Adventure, Danger and Endurance by Levison Wood. Today we're going to be looking at the chapter called How to Be an Explorer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely vital that if you want to be an intrepid explorer, want to learn more about Levison Wood, this chapter is really going to tell you some more. So as you can see here, we've got some subheadings which is broken down into. Now, please can I remind you that if you want to, all you need to do is pause this video and come back to it once you've listened to little bits and bobs of it. You can always come back to it another time. As well as that, you can always mute me and read through this yourself. So, how to be an explorer. If uncovering the incredible stories of these explorers is starting to whet your appetite for adventure, then I'm thrilled. The whole wide world is out there just waiting for you to go and discover it. But don't worry, your first trips don't have to be months-long expeditions. In fact, you can go on some incredible journeys just by stepping out of your front door. Just make sure you ask permission first. Here are some top tips from aspiring explorers. So number one is thinking about starting small. Micro-adventures are a great way to start. When I was young, we lived on the edge of the Peak District in England, where we would go for the weekend walks. And on one summer holiday, I remember hiking 5 kilometres through the Scottish Highlands. Start by going on walks in your local area, as through a park or along a nearby river. Before you know it, you'll be ready to move to national parks and wilderness areas. 2. Be ultra observant. When I get to the top of a steep hill, I make sure that I don't just forget to turn around and enjoy the view. Take a camera or a sketchbook to record what you see. I make sure to write a journal every night so I don't forget what happened. It comes in handy when I write my adventure books back home. Discover tales of adventure. I used to love the stories of bravery from great polar explorers such as Scott and Shackleton, and any other tales of Victorian exploration revealed the quest to reach the source of the Nile, which is what later inspired me to walk the great river's lengths from source to sea. Adventure travel books taught me about the character I'd need to have as an explorer. Be curious. I found adventure in the most unlikely places, often because of fascinating people I had met. When I was 18, I saved up money to go travelling around the world on my own. I made friends with people from all walks of life, and it made me even more curious about who else I could meet, as you can see here from these illustrations. I presume this is Levison Wood, and this is him meeting people. Get equipped. When you're out on an expedition, you're reliant on the team you have around you and your equipment. Take advice from people with experience on the best clothing and kit, and make sure you wear in your boots before you go on a long journey. A top traveller's tip is to wrap your feet in zinc oxide tape to stave off blisters or starve blisters. I always take one smart white linen shirt too. It packs up small and tight and means I can be smart and presentable at the last minute if I have to. When I was in the Himalayas, it saved me from going to meet local dignitaries in a sweaty Trekkie t-shirt. But don't forget, you're going on an expedition, not a holiday, so pack light. I make sure that I can comfortably carry all my kit in one backpack so that I can walk with it all day. Pitching a tent. I started camping in the garden at home. As I got older, I learnt how to pitch a tent myself. My family used to have competitions to see who could pitch their tent the fastest. Tents are great if you want lots of protection from the elements. But on a recent trip to the Middle East, I didn't take a tent at all. It was warm enough to sleep in our sleeping bags under the stars. When it's a bit colder, I use a bivy bag, a cross between a sleeping bag and a one-person tent, which protects you from the wind and rain. Learn how to read a map. As you can see here, map reading. In this day and age, it's very easy to become dependent on a GPS on our phones. That's like Google Maps. I have to admit, I do use sat-navs on expeditions, but it's important to learn how to read a map too in case of emergencies. When I was a boy, I was in the Cubs, which is part of the Scouts Association, and that's where I was taught map reading. We started indoors and were shown how to understand the key, contours, grid, references, and everything else. Once we got the hang of that, we put our new skills into practice, racing to be the first back to checkpoints. And finally, a compass. I did the Duke of Edinburgh Award, which I did as well, and it was great fun, when I was at school, which inspired me to go on adventures later on. We'd go on mini expeditions where we had to carry everything in our backpacks backpacks, including our tents and food. And most importantly, we have to navigate with a compass. When clouds roll in and there is low visibility, a compass can help you find your way to safety. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember that you can always come back to how to be an explorer, and you can always come and reference these at another point. Please remember that you can always come back and reference these videos as well. Have a lovely day. Bye.